Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping in and visiting with me. Today's topic, solar power. What do you have for your ham operations and portable ops when you're going out for POTA or field days? Let's check out some of these products from Bioenno, so stick around. Alright, thanks for sticking with me everybody. As I said, today's topic, solar power. There's definitely a lot of different products and manufacturers out there for solar power and portable operations. Do your research. Ultimately, you've got to find what works best for you, suits your usage, and fits in your budgetary restraints. So, don't be shy. You can only, as long as you've got something that's working for you, you should be happy. But I wanted to search out for something a little more improved quality, and I really found Bioenno to meet that needs. A little more in the little higher of a price range, but definitely you're getting a lot for the money you're spending on it, I feel. So with that, let's kind of get into some of their products. I've got the charge controller 20 amp from Bioenno. I've got the foldable 100 watt solar panel. They're what they call their BSP 100 Lite. And I've also got a BSP 150 Lite, which should be the 150 watt or 150 solar panel. Now some of these I've purchased, and some of it Bioenno was nice enough to send to me to try out the product and see what I really like. So I definitely appreciate that from Bioenno and appreciate the opportunity to go over the products. Thus far, I've found it definitely to be a very durable quality product. Seems to really work well compared to some of the other products I've got. But let me transition over here to some of this other that I've to show a little better here. All right, so you've got the 20 amp charge controller. It's a metal case, very solid construction, works really well so far with the use I've had on it. Now it comes with these two different barrel connectors with leads on them. Instead of using that on the charge controller, I made my own with power poles. You gotta love Anderson power poles. Really make a lot of difference for my ham radio ops. But it's put the wire between the contacts, tighten the screw down, makes a very nice solid connection. Again, this comes with the charge controller. And the charge controller on their website runs for $49.95. Some of these adapters that were sent to me, barrel connector to an Anderson power pole, barrel connector to alligator clips for positive and negative, another barrel connector to power pole, and it's obviously they'll kind of interconnect here, as you can see there. And then use with right off from Bioenno's batteries, they've got the barrel connector there, so you could charge into the barrel connector and use the power pole leads coming out of the battery to still power your equipment. And the 50 amp power pole connector to a regular 15, 30, or 45 amp. These, I believe, are the 30 amp power poles. Now, both solar panels have the 50 amp barrel connector coming off from the panel. So what I did, get the main connector here, plug it right directly into the solar panel, and then run an extension with power poles on each end to get where you need to take your power to. All of these different connectors on their website range from $9.99 to $14.99, and we'll go from there. I'll also take and show you the site. Let me go back here. All right, so now I've had other solar panels. I've got one that I purchased off Amazon by Dokio, or Dokio, however you want to say it. It was a 100-watt foldable solar panel. Now it doesn't fold down as small as the one from Bioenno, and it's definitely feels a lot flimsier. Like the panels themselves seem like move them around or get them pinched just right. You know, transport and stuff. You might actually crack the panels themselves. So, and the charge controller that come with it, it was pretty basic, simplistic made, plastic case, not real durable, and there was only one method to connect to the power supply, and that's with regular positive and negative clamps coming out of the charge controller. So without doing some snipping and making your own wires and everything, you're kind of limited to your power source. So, you know, it worked for me during field day, but I wasn't really getting out of it what I was hoping for, and I don't think it was rated as high as an amp output as these Bioennos are. So I think they produce a little more power given optimum conditions. So let me let's see here, kind of take you and show you their website. Relatively simple as far as easy to navigate. It's just regular bioennopower.com. Whole list of all their different batteries and charge controllers and solar panels and different storage methods and things like that. So you can see they've got a lot on their site. A lot of good information on there as far as to pertaining to the products, but I wanted to share that with you. So I wanted to also take you back and briefly show the before we get into showing the clips of outdoor, showing the panels and everything, and hooked up into the charge controller and charging the battery and hooked my radio up for the noise floor. I'll show you a brief page showing an outline of all of their products as far as what I've got here, the different, what they show on their site for size and voltage and amperage and everything. So I'll show you that now. Okay, so let's transition into the outdoor portion of this, where I'm showing you the actual products in use. I will say on the radio, when I'm showing the noise floor, I actually had turned up to amp 2 on the 911A, instead of your, in 3 different settings, your IPO, amp 1, and amp 2. So I'm on the amp 2. So when it's showing the noise floor on there, that's at the higher level too, so it's not too bad as far as that goes. So with that, let's get into that. All right, so here's the 2 Bioenno solar panels that I have. The one on the left is the BSP 100 light foldable, and the one on the right, the larger, is the BSP 150 light. Now the 150 light I don't find on their website actually for sale, but you can see the difference in the size between the two. The 100 watt foldable weighs about 10 pounds, and the 150 light foldable is approximately 14 pounds when I weighed it. Now you can see the 100, approximately 14 inches by 20 and a half when folded, and it is approximately about an inch just over thick. The 150, when it's folded state, is approximately 21 and a half by 21 and a half, and pretty close to the same thickness, approximately an inch thick, just under actually. Now both of these come with a pouch on the back too, and they've been a very durable, solid, well built panel case. And we'll kind of open them both up and show you a expanded view and do a measure of both sizes here once I get it set up. Okay, here's both panels expanded. Believe it or not, the 100 watt one is the bottom and the top view is the 150, and we'll show you a measure on it. So your 100 watt one is approximately 56 inches for the panels and approximately 63 overall, with all the completely opened up with the flap included. Your 150 is approximately 64 inches at the panels and just over 72 inches fully expanded. And so both are pretty comparable in size. You're gaining about approximately 50 watts worth of power. Now both of these panels do come with kickstands. As you can see, the kickstand velcros down and flaps out to help hold, excuse the shaky cam, to help hold it up as a kick out. You can see that it keeps it at a slight angle to help catch the sun. Now both of these have only 2 kickstands on them. If you look at the back of the 150, you'll see it's a little bigger of a kickstand, a little sturdier one of it, but it does the same thing. So I'll be momentarily hooking these up to my battery charger to see what kind of amperage I get out of it. Now the foldable 100, per their website, is rated at a max output of 5.56 amps. Now, given a little bit of rudimentary math and quite basic, obviously, looking at the differences between the foldable solar panels on their website, the 60 watt versus the 100 watt and so on, the difference between the amperage, I'm figuring that this 150 light foldable is going to put you somewhere in the neighborhood of a max of 7.5 to 8 amps output. So bear with me a moment while I get this set up to see what kind of amperage I can get out with the sunlight. Alright, so I've got a wire harness that I connected to your coming off the panel with a cord that I made with power poles going into the charge controller. Now, of course, go figure, the sunniest day I've had in a while that isn't raining. As soon as I set up, the clouds come out and cover the sunlight up for direct light catching it. But even in an overcast day, I'm still getting almost 13.5 volts off from the panel. Now, checking the amperage going into the battery, that's the Bioenno 12 amp hour that I've got. I don't know if you can see that, but it's reading currently 13.55 volts going to the battery, 1.25 amps approximate, almost. It kind of hits down now, it's settled at 1.24 amps, 2.5 going into the battery, and that's on a overcast day. Now that's not great, but obviously over time and a good heavy sun direct into it, probably be getting a lot better amperage out of that. I don't know. I'm going to try to see if I can hook up and get a little more amperage out of the 150. Let me slide it over here. The cord's only so long that I've got currently hooked up. I do have a longer one, but kind of bear with the video stuff. I'm trying to do this all by myself. Get in here. See, it's got a nice storage pouch on the back. Got it all hooked up there. And I love power poles. Alright, all hooked up. It's on the BSP 150 now. Still getting 13.5 volts out. But I'm now gained close to half an amp just by hit that slightly bigger. I'm getting 1.6768 amps going into the battery now. And that's just switching to adding an extra 50 volt power supply off from the solar panels. So from going from a 100 to a 150 on a bad sun, light day, obviously for charging, I still gained amperage going into my battery. Now if I can get a little better sun, it's starting to peek through a little bit through the clouds. See if it changes any. Oh, look at that. I'm at 2.4 volts going into the battery when the sun started hitting a little better. So it's not really truly showing the most effectiveness just because the sun isn't cooperating. Go figure. It was a lot better earlier. But I do want to hook up and see what kind of extra noise I might have for the RF noise floor on my rig. So bear with me here. All right, I got the radio on, and I'm sitting pretty close to the house. I'm a little over a noise floor right now on my power meter of 1.5, almost 2 for the noise floor. So let me plug this stuff in. Alright, so I'm all plugged up, connected to the solar panel, still charging the battery. And I'm not really noticing. I'm still about the same. For the noise floor, it's flickering a lot on the screen, but I'm still at about a 1.5. So with this particular charge controller and configuration, I'm not really gaining much noise. Plugging in, unplugging, I'm not noticing much of a difference. So the biggest thing would be to see what a kind of a max output I can get out of these on a nice bright sunny day that, of course, as soon as I pull out, it goes overcast. So I apologize for that, but relatively, my thoughts overall have been a really good product. Works well. Not a lot of interference as far as the noise floor on the rig. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. So with that, we'll kind of transition back over. Well, thanks to all of you for sticking around with me on this video and hopefully it gains you some insight into the Bioenno products and the quality that they are. I definitely found them to more than meet my needs, what I've needed so far on my portable operations and solar use. Well made, durable products. Definitely, I find them to be worth the money. So I would check them out. And with that, I'll say thank you, 7-3, and get on the air.